everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve, this is Everyday Artist, and welcome. This is Rogue, who, when she sees me gathering my stuff to come film, she just immediately comes over here to where I film. But today I was doing a couple of other things before I got started, and she's like, "Urf." She wanted me to get started right away. Huh. Yeah. So today I have, it looks like another really short video. I'm still wallowing in paperwork. Gotten some of it taken care of. Some of it I'm waiting for, approvals and other people to do their things. I still haven't done my taxes yet because I want to do my dad's before I do mine, and long story. Anyway, and I was just watching a Flosstube, I think it's Grammy Stitcher. She had a shout out to me, and I will confirm that and put it down below. She, I guess this was her 8th video, she reminded me about reading. You know, when I was younger, I loved to read, but I am not into, big books. I like reading, but I like shorter books. But I stopped reading altogether for... Okay. My dog just deserted me because she's hoping something will fall in her mouth from when my sister feeds her cats. She's so happy. Every time my sister comes out of her bedroom or whatever, she takes off running over there like, "Are you going to feed cats? Are you going to feed cats?" Well, what I was talking about was books. For a long time, I stopped reading altogether because it just was too difficult. I was having a lot of vision issues, and I just stopped reading. But I was still listening to audiobooks. Not as many as I'd like because, I wanted to listen to audiobooks when I was by myself in the car or, working, sewing, stuff like that if nobody else was around. But recently I started reading I get my audiobooks and my electronic books 99% of the time, maybe 99.9% of the time, from my local library. I have their online catalog on my phone, and I just read from there. And for me, that is a lot more convenient than going down to the library and finding a book. And I like having it on my phone because if I'm waiting somewhere or something, I can read. And to me, if I'm going to be on my phone, I'd rather be doing that than playing video games or something on my phone. So I was really appreciative of her shout out. Thank you very much. I have a tiny bit of knitting, some quilting that is getting further along, and my cross stitch. Now, I'm going to do the knitting first because it'll take 2 seconds, and then I'm going to go into cross stitch, and at the end of that, I'll then talk about my quilting. So there are so many patterns coming out, and I have to go, don't look, because I have so many patterns that I love that I haven't started yet. And I was just thinking about another one last night that's a smaller pattern and I have it all kitted up, and I want to start it, and I'm like, are you kidding? I can't get done the stuff I'm working on. So I want to get some of the stuff I have done so that I can start new stuff. Okay, so in other words, I have no haul. I did a couple more rows on this. This is the lacework part, and I know my lacework is not fantastic, but especially this bottom part is, this top one is better than the bottom part. I think I have 2 more rows of lacing work and then 2 plain rows left. I have to count my rows. And then I'll be done with this color and switching to another color and apparently smaller needles. This is by Casapinka, and it was a knit along that started on my birthday last year. Last year? The year before. I don't know. But I didn't work on it. Maybe it was the year before that. I don't know. I had started this color, I think. Or maybe I was down here. And the other day I said, you know, I need to pick it up and just keep working on it. And even if I'm just doing a row or 2 at a time, you know, a week, eventually it'll get done. But this Casapinka, this one is called Sharon from Security Shawl. I don't know. I'll put it in the description below. But it's theoretically a pattern that's written by her cat. And the first part of the thing is to use this size of needle, not the size I have on, but a different one. And then below that, after you've done some rows and stuff, there's a big bolded thing that says, change your needle size right now. And it's kind of a paragraph. She said, don't get further down and say, I didn't tell you to change your needle size, change your needle size. And she goes, that's why it's in bold, change your needle size. So after this section, I have to change again. And it's the same thing. And then after that section, she changes back to the size I have on now. And every time it's these big bold letters and a paragraph saying, don't come at me saying I didn't tell you to change the needle size. You know, it's written in bold and it's a paragraph. So, you know, and I just think that is so funny because in order to have something like that on there, you had to have had more than one person complain that they didn't see about changing a needle size. Yeah, that's called reading the pattern, right? Even in cross stitch, you know, oh, I didn't see that it told me to do this or that. Well, that's not the designer's fault. And it kind of reminds me about cautions, like I've seen on packaging for lawnmowers a caution that says don't use this as a hedge trimmer. And you know that the reason it says that is because somebody did and tried to sue the company that made the lawnmower. Yeah. And yeah, so I find that amusing because it tells me what kind of people write her about what. Sorry about my voice. I don't know. I get scratchy voice a lot. My throat doesn't hurt. I don't know. Anyway, I am going to talk first about my winter cross stitch camp piece, BrrBerry, which I will not finish this month. And I'm okay with that because even though I like it, I'm not going to rush and make more mistakes than I've already made. So this is where I am. Cute, huh? His little nose. So when I finish this row, I get to start putting in the little squares for his mouth. But I'm going to put them in after I finish the rows around them so the black doesn't leak into the white. And then there's a very colorful scarf. And there's some birds. You can't see the birds on the big one, but they're off to the side on this one, and it's kind of like that. I think on this one, on one side the scarf goes up, and on the other side there's two birds. And then I have to do all these swirly white things. So there's a lot done, so I won't finish it for Winter Cross Stitch Camp. But that's okay. And after this month, I may put this away to work on at some point, or I may continue to work on it. I don't know. But I wanted to start it for Winter Cross Stitch Camp, and you know that's ending in a couple of days, and there's no way I can finish it. You know, that's the way things go. So I lost my train of thought. I got a phone call, and it was a number I recognized, so I wanted to answer it. So I lost my train of thought about that little snowman. I like him very much. I love snowmen. So, like I said, I'm in a quandary as to whether I should persevere on it or not. We'll see. Excuse me. This is my second Whip Go call for February, and I'm doing the berry. Once I do the berry, I'll have both of these done. So I'm supposed to finish this by the end of the month. It's not going to happen. So I'm on the E. There's going to be another E, of course, and a B. And then I have a big flower down here and a flower going this way and another big flower here. So I don't think I can get that done before the end of the month. But the nice thing about Whip Go is that if I get it done after the end of the month, I can still check off this. I can still check off this square. So that's the Sewing Bee by Erica Michael. And I am doing it on 32 count platinum. Lugana? I don't know. My snowman is also on 32 count. Elfast linen in the color Blue Ice. I don't really like the fabric. On the snowman, it feels like the coverage. I'm doing 2/2, and for some reason, it feels like the coverage isn't good, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Excuse me. This is going to be a very quick video, I guess. Okay, so I'm continuing to plug away at, this is from my seasonal berry sal that Helen D was hosting, and she's all done with hers, and I'm working on this one, and then I have this one left, and once I have all three of these, I'll fully finish them, and I'll fully finish the Sewing Bee, and I'll fully finish the Nativity Berry that I did last year. So can't wait to get them done. I kind of want to get these pins. I'll think about it. One is a bird. See the bird? I'd love to have that little bird on top of this bird, so we'll see. We'll see. So I put in another snowflake here, and I started a snowflake here. The thread kept tangling. I'm using a toile instead of white, and the thread kept tangling. And then with this snowflake, I found out that this L should have been 1 stitch higher. And the way I found out is I counted up where the snowflake was supposed to start, and then I went down, and I realized it was going to tuck right against that E. Now it doesn't do that in the pattern. So I counted, did I count the snowflake wrong? What happened? And I realized that the reason I counted the snowflake wrong is that the L was 1 stitch too short. I just decided to go with it. But I just have snowflakes to do on this. Those little shoes are done. Yeah. So I can't wait to get this fully finished. He's very cute. And the sheep on the last one are also cute. And I told myself, why didn't I just use the sheep for winter cross stitch camp? I don't know. Because I like snowmen. I don't know. Oh, and on this berry, and dropping things, on this side of the berry over here. Is it over there? Is it on this side? I don't know. But I'm not trying to show you the pattern. There is an LS. I don't know what that means. It doesn't correspond with initials that I see. If anybody knows why there would be an LS on this, please comment, because there's not like an alphabet in where I could put my name, my initials or something like that. And I suppose I could, but I don't want to. And I'm like, why is that there? Why would I stitch that? So if it means anything to anybody, I would really appreciate it if somebody would comment on that and tell me what the heck LS means. Because there wasn't an LS on this, and it just doesn't seem to go, but it has to be on the pattern for a reason. But I probably won't stitch it because it's not making any sense to me, and unless it does, you know, I'm behind enough on this as it is. My piles are too high. And my last cross stitch, my dog decided to just randomly bark in my ear. Am I not paying enough attention to you or what? Okay, so this is the last cross stitch I've done so far in this month. Oops, upside down. The Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts 2023 Temperature Sal, designed by Kristin Ashley. February's, you know, almost over, and so I have to continue the border down, so I'm ready to start March when March comes. So we've had an interesting year in weather. You may notice that I'm wearing a sweater. When I sat down to do this interview, it was 40 degrees outside. And while that is much warmer than it is many other places, quiet. Quiet. while that's much warmer than it is other places, it's by no means warm to us. Our temperatures in February are generally 70s, upper 70s by this time of year. And so all of us, stop, get down, get down. Okay, then you stop. Everybody's talking about how cold this February month has been. And yesterday I was wearing this sweater and I was too cold outside. It was so cold. And I don't have warm outerwear and stuff like that. I have jackets and sweaters. That's what I have. So it's kind of weird. But we didn't get snow in Scottsdale this year, so that that is a plus. I don't know what she's seeing outside that she's growling at, because there is nothing outside. So, as I said, I adjusted the temperature so that the high temperature would be up to, I think I put up to 120. So, it got warmer, and then cold again. And it's amusing because these days are going to be back to this colors, which I didn't take it out. I can't tell you what that color corresponds to, but I think it's between 55 and 70 or 75, I think. I don't think there was any 75s, but that might be what this was. I don't know. And it's like we'll have a warm day and all of a sudden we get a whole bunch of cold days. And I've seen that it was snowing in Southern California. What the heck? It never snows in California, not in Southern California. So they did pull the whip cold calls for August, and I am very happy. As you may recall, if you've been with me for a little while, stop it. I did this cat, and I want to mirror this cat on this side. So that is one of my whip go calls. And this is 14 count mystery fabric. I don't know what it is. I don't know where I got it. I might have bought it at Hobby Lobby or picked it up anywhere. Oh, there's landscapers outside. Not real close, but outside. Anyway, I have the pattern for the reverse cat. And to get it even, I think I'm going to start with the tail. Last time I started with the head. But I think I'm going to start with the tail and then go from there. But I'm very excited. I won't finish it in the month, I'm pretty sure. But because that one took me a while. But the goal is 10 days. And then, I don't know how this got so wrinkled. The other one was Lemon Cat. I'm hoping when I go to FFO it, I can find some lemons to put on there. Not real lemons. But this is how far I am. And the goal on this one is to finish it. So I'm going to start with the other cat and get those 10 days done. And then after that, I'm going to start working on that so I can hopefully get that done. It's a very small pattern. So I should be able to do that. I hope. And then, lastly, Itty Bitty Kitty Community Quilt. So, I'm going to have to lay these out again because I think I got them in the wrong order. But my my strips, after I had this all done, I was like, oh man, I should have put this this orange somewhere else, but then it would have still been 3 in 1, so that's okay. So this is toward the bottom. And I finished the sashing strips. This one is not a full sashing strip, it's just a little bit. But I finished these sashing strips, I just haven't ironed them yet. And after I iron them, I can start pinning them in place to go like that. And hopefully they'll all line up. But what I'll do is I'll pin these where they're supposed to go and get that to fit in. I think it will work. So I'm getting there on this quilt. I think one of the reasons why it's taking me so long on this one is that some of the work is tedious, like putting the cats together with the sashing, because I can't just zip through and do all of one thing at a time. That's okay. And I couldn't do it, just it takes me where I'm going. Do I want to do that right now? I don't know, maybe. But I had all these sashing strips to make, and I got them done. Misty, who designed this Itty Bitty Kitty Committee quilt, Missouri Star Quilt Company, she had us sew a yellow strip to a background strip and then cut those strips. She said, so you don't have to sew little things together. I don't know. Maybe it would have been easier to sew little things together. I have no idea. Possibly. But I am plugging along at this kitty quilt. And I still haven't put on the outer borders of the other cat quilt. Things falling everywhere. To get it to be, a finished top. And I should do that. But I'm going to concentrate on this one, and then I have the inner border already cut, because she has you cut that when you're cutting this white thing. No, when you're cutting the vertical sashing shit. Sashing strips. I don't know why I couldn't say that. So I have those inner borders already cut. All I have to do is sew them together and then sew them around the outside of the quilt. And I have the fabric for the outer border. So hopefully this will go together relatively quickly. We'll see. And I guess that's about it. Was there something else I wanted to talk about? I don't think so. So I'm going to try to resist all these market things coming out. Although Kathy with Hands On Design, she now has out both the other two of the basket. I don't know what she calls them, seasonal baskets. But I have summer and winter, or summer and fall, and I have not purchased winter, and I have not purchased spring. But I saw the spring ones on her on her Flosstube showing what she was taking to market. They're absolutely beautiful. They are so beautiful. And the colors are just amazing. They are really nice. And so I may go ahead and pick those up maybe in March. Maybe I'll spread it out. I don't know. I hate to go get it at the attic. Not because I hate the attic, because I love the attic. And I will end up spending way more money than I should. So fortunately, these patterns are DMC, so I probably have most of the threads. Anyway, I think that's everything. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you next week.